What's going on, guys? Got a 16 GMC Duramax here, and having problems with the emission system. So I just wanted to do a teardown video on this thing here. It's probably going to be junk when we're done, but I just wanted to show you guys what's on the inside of this thing. So yeah, like I said, 16 Duramax. As you can see, it's sitting over there. Been sitting there for a while. Lots and lots of problems. So anyways, let's tear this pump down, because that's what this video is all about. So first of all, this cover comes off real easy. You just got a bunch of clips and it basically slides right off. So we're gonna see what's under here, because I'd like to be able to test the motor, but I'll show you guys why it's not possible outside the truck. Well, it is. You just got to have some fancy equipment. So you got your terminals labeled 1 through 5 here. 1 starting on the left, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all the way on the right. So there you go. So like I said, this thing just pops off of here. Terminals just pull through, no problem. And this is what's under here. So this is why you can't test this thing without special tools. And there's, in the manual that we have found, we haven't really been able to find any resistances, or at least there's not many. So I don't know why that is. But this is basically what you have. You got a brushless motor in here, is what it looks like. And to run it, you got 3 terminals. And actually on the 3 terminals, one says ground, the one in the middle, GND. This says PWM, probably power of some sort, and KL30. So I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is. Probably one of these is like a command wire, like it kicks on and tells it when to run. Part of that might also be built into this circuit board. It might say run for 30 seconds, stop, run for 30 seconds, stop. I'm not sure, just all speculation. So anyways, basically, again, all this video is about is just tearing this thing down and showing you guys what's inside it. All right, so we got another couple terminals here. I'm not sure what the deal is with these. They don't seem to go to anything. So right here, we got just a rubber covered thing and 2 terminals that just don't go anywhere. So I don't know what that's about. I thought that was supposed to be one of the heaters. Let's see here. This is the connector that goes to that spot, and it's got this black and gray white wire, 1 and 2 here. So that's what plugs in, and that 1 and 2 terminal, as you can see, the bigger 2 wires go to the first 2 pins. And then if you follow these, like I said, black and gray white, they go back to this big connector. And if you watch any videos on these, basically these are supposed to be heater terminals. They're supposed to be. So you do actually get a resistance. So I don't know how these connect to a heater, but somehow they do. I don't know. Anyways, there's that. Maybe it's just a heater for the electronics in here when it's cold. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's supposed to be a heater. You can tell where the heaters are because of the big wires going into this thing. So you got a couple other things on here. I'm not sure what either of these things are, but again, right here you can see big wires, and they go to the center of this. So you got a heater on the center 2 pins for all 6 of these center pins. So again, just small wires, so that's not a heater. I'm not sure what that does. We'll pull that apart, and we'll pull this apart, because this is also not a heater. But you got these wires here So these, again, thick wires, black and green white. Again, if you look closely here, black and green white on the center two terminals. So in total, you got 3 heaters on this whole DEF system here. This is what goes down in your DEF tank. So this heater, that's the green and white wires, those change to red and gray, or sorry, red and white, or pink. I think they call them pink and white in the manual. And then eventually they go through these, and this is what goes to your heater that's in the very bottom of your tank down in there. Okay, it's kind of the white grid looking thing way down in there. All right, and the third heater is actually on one of your lines that clips on, I think, on here. All right, so your third heater is right here. So as you can see, it literally goes in this elbow on the small clip-on DEF port there. And this, I believe, goes to your injector on the exhaust pipe. So it goes up over the frame and into that injector. But yes, this is your third heater here. All right, so these are the small black and green wires going to this spot here. Let's yank this cover off. So here's what it looks like under this cover. So you got 2 wires here, and it looks like it's going to be a solenoid of some sort. I'm not sure what this does. One thing I did want to show you guys is this motor. As you can hear, it sounds like it's got like a diaphragm style pump that runs the DEF through here. So we'll be tearing this down more as well. But let's go ahead and try this solenoid out. If I'm not mistaken, I think this whole thing runs on 5 volts. You can see in the schematic it has a 5V on it. I'm not 100% sure. But we got a 7.4 volt LiPo here. And here we go. So this is just simply a solenoid. So I'm sure this is something you could probably test for resistance. So I don't know if this is a part that goes bad or not, but looks like it's working. So maybe I'll get you guys a resistance for that. Quick test on the multimeter. And there it is. And then if I let go, it goes back to 1. All right, so we're on 200 ohms. I'm not sure if that's where we need to be or not, but we will find out here. So it looks like pretty darn close to 11 ohms. 10.8, 10.9. So that's for that guy. All right, next, I took this little foam piece off. I'm not sure what that's for. We're going to go for this 3-wire connector here. So this is gray, brown, and light brown. So I'm going to get this yanked out of here. All right, so here we are. That's what this guy looks like. And it just goes into this spot here, and it looks like there's a hole. And so it doesn't really have any ports that lead anywhere. It's got this O-ring and then just the one hole. So I'm guessing this is a sensor either for pressure, or it just lets the rest of the truck know that either the pump is running or it's not. And I'm not sure exactly how you test this either. This has got 3 terminals. We remove these 2 screws here, and then this just pulls out. And here's what it looks like. So if we look down in here, really there's not much to it. There's just a couple ports here, and that's basically going to be your DEF in and DEF out. And you can see there's a little screen in there on this port here. And then on the back side of this, these are the 2 corresponding parts here that slip in those holes. And if we rotate the motor, what we can see is that obviously we have a pump here. So as this spins, it moves this diaphragm in and out that's on the inside of here, and that's what creates your flow of your DEF. This is what pumps your DEF. So like I said, I'm pretty certain this is going to be a brushless motor on this thing. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see here. Just say 13 volts DC. So maybe we need a bigger battery to run this. I guess we'll have to see. I will say I connected this battery up, and this would run a little bit, but not very much. All right, so now we have a 3-cell, which is a 13 volt battery, or 14.8 volt, or sorry, 11.1. Basically it's 3 cells, sorry, 11.1 volt battery. So basically 12 volts. So let's see. This is the hot wire. So we're gonna connect it there. How I got this to run earlier, so I put the hot wire on this far left terminal, and then these other 2 I connected together. So I'll try and show you guys that. Let's see here. Yeah, it won't run now. Like I said, I'm sure there's a special way that you can hook this up and run it like the truck does, but for an everyday person just with a normal battery, 12 volts DC, it's not going to work. So anyways, that's it there. Diaphragm pump. I could try and pull this out, which might be interesting. All right, so here's our solenoid that went in here. Again, it just attaches to this fork. It appears that this does something with a diaphragm, and you can see the kind of the ports for where that would be interacting with the pump. So not sure what that does, but that's what it looks like. One thing I did want to try, I'm going to hook 5 volts up to this. These are the 2 terminals on the very left of this connector here, the first 2 terminals. So looking down in here now, you can see that it follows this path and then ultimately goes to here. So I'm going to hook back up the 7 volt battery and connect it to these and see if I can feel this getting warm. Which will actually do a resistance test first, because all the heaters did test good on this thing. So if you guys are needing to test this heater, this is what the resistance is going to be. All your resistances should be between 3 and 9 volts. if I remember correctly, or 3 to 9 ohms. 4.4 ohms. All right, so it's in good shape. Connector terminals here. Okay. So it does seem to be working. All right, let's take this thing. I want to bust the end off and see what's inside all of these baffles and what's on the inside of this. All right, so in here behind this we have a irreplaceable or unreplaceable filter. So that's what that looks like. So again, that's the small nozzle end. So that's going to be your going out end to the injector, to the DEF injector in your exhaust pipe. So that's why they have this filter on here. So it's good to know they got a filter, but if that goes bad, again, not replaceable. And that's what it looks like down in there. All right, let's continue breaking this apart. Okay, so I got this broken free, busted off of here. All right, so here we go. This is this little diaphragm piece. So that's kind of what that looks like. And then down in here is the other side to it. So there's a few seals. So really there's not too much else left to this thing. But I did want to show you guys. I did get this piece off. So it looks like there's just a whole bunch of little passages. I assume this probably has to do with the pickup or regulation of the DEF going to the injector. There's a few little things in here. Again, I mean, all the passages. You can see there's a little screen there. I think, yes, that's for your pump. Okay, so both of these holes that you can see light through, that's where our pump diaphragm and pump body connect. And then there is this other spot here. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but that is yet another little diaphragm. And that comes over to this hole here, and this goes down in the tank here, or into the top of this. So where this small screen is, it's not sure if that's a return or inlet. Probably the big one is the inlet, and this is a return, or who knows what. But anyways, these two go in these holes here. So when you get a new one of these or replacement, the small one obviously goes in the small hole, the big one goes in the big hole. All right, so I'm gonna continue busting this apart. We'll see if we see anything else that's interesting. So yeah, there's really not too much else to it. As you can see, just the little passages that go here and there, some metal parts and pieces. I'm not sure, I don't think, well, that might be part of this heater that comes in here. All right, so next we're gonna bust up this pump and see what's on the inside here. All right, so this was on here like that. I assume this is probably a reed valve, meaning it just lets fluid in one way and it goes out another way. So basically like it's one way in and one way out. And then this right here is your diaphragm. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not. It kind of broke off the end of the case, but when it's working right, this diaphragm kind of goes back and forth, and that's what creates your pumping action. Kind of hard to show you. Let's see, if we pull this out of here, you can see just a rubber diaphragm. And all right, so as you can see here, this is a brushless motor. So we got the magnet on the actual drum, and then we just have coils of wire that are stationary. So that's kind of your standard everyday setup for a brushless motor. That's it, guys. That's this thing completely broken down. So that's what's inside a 2012 to 2016 Chevy or GMC 25 or 3500 Duramax DEF pump. Hopefully this helps, guys. If nothing else, it's kind of interesting to see what was in here. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out that description box below for more videos like this, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.